Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of Oh and Two Heroes. And get ready for this. If you listen to the last episode, you know we're trying out a new slogan at the start of this. All fists, no facts. I don't know. Red Fox recommended it. If you like it, let me know. If you hate it, let Red Fox know. That's the way this works. But yeah, welcome to Oh and Two Heroes. We got a new episode for you today. We got a spooky game for you today because this is the Halloween episode. And we got a special guest today. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves. But please welcome to the show.
Yeah, yo, it's me, MackEast. And yeah, that sounds like a Red Fox slogan, man. As soon as you said it, I was like, huh. But I like it, because I know no facts about the game we're about to talk about, so it makes sense to me.
Yeah. We were recording this before the Red Fox episode came out, so like you haven't had a chance to hear it. But yeah, he pitched that as a slogan. I don't dislike it. I'm gonna roll with it, see how it goes.
Yeah, man, it never hurts. It never hurts to have a little catchphrase going.
I was on your show not too long ago. We were talking about Street Fighter 2, the movie, and you were cool enough that when you introduced me, you played my theme song. I don't have that technology right now, and I was debating doing the whole big Jay West, like, the legendary Weep Slayer, like, the watch. I'm like, nah, that's his shit. I'm not going to steal it. But if I do my editing right, the whole time we're having this conversation, Return of the Mac should be playing underneath that I've added in post. So
Nice.
I got that going.
You heard it there, and now you're hearing it here. Return of the Mac.
Yeah, we got not the Return of the Mac, we got the first welcome of MackEast to Oh and Two Heroes. Thank you for coming on. I'm glad you're here.
Man.
I've been on your show before. This is excited to do this.
I've been listening to O2 Heroes since episode 1, man. It's cool to be on. It's cool to be on.
No joke. I think you're the first person who heard that show. You're the first person who, like, because I released it at like New Year's Eve because I didn't feel like holding on to it. And you texted me and you're like, yo, this is really good. Why the fuck you release it on New Year's Eve? No one's listening to that.
I was thinking about that today. I was actually gonna say it, but I wasn't sure. But I was like, I think I was the first person to listen to this fucking show.
Yeah.
I was bored on New Year's. I was, chilling. I fucking ended up listening to this while drinking beer by myself. I was with people. I'm not that big of a loser, but they were doing their thing, playing Mario Kart or some shit. So yeah, this is awesome, man. I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah, so please, I listen to your show. I know all of this stuff, but please introduce yourself. Tell us about your show. Tell us about what games you like. Tell us about what game we're playing today. Take it away, Mac.
Yeah. I am from the We Get Dubbed podcast. Our slogan is hits harder than a Goku gut punch. And yeah, it's we do anime and all sorts of like I'm not the best salesman for the show. We do anime tournaments where we do theme songs. Our newest one that's coming out, I don't know. By the time this drops, I have no idea what's going on. But well, it's 8 different languages we're covering theme songs from, things like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, we cover we just passed Smut-tember, where we covered some really fucking the birth of tentacle porn for one, a movie called Overfiend, and and a movie called Wicked City, where a woman shoots spiderwebs out of her pussy. So we cover the important stuff over there, and then normal shit too, like Demon Slayer, those kind of things. The hit animes, but we get around, and then we also we do piece by piece, where we go through one piece from the beginning to the end. I say that because the live action is popular, so I should bring it up. But
yeah, I was about to ask, are you covering the live action on your show?
We were supposed to. I think Jay crapped out. I watched 7 of the 8 episodes before I had to tap out. The show's trash.
Is it? Wow. Okay.
I'm itching to talk about it, but Jay needs to sit through 8 hours of that. I don't know if he's going to. But hey, it's popular, bringing more eyes to hopefully the anime and the manga, which is very important to me. So that's cool. It is what it is.
My partner's youngest brother, over the pandemic, read and watched all of One Piece, and he was real excited for the live action. So we were talking about it, and I'm like, dude, I watched that shit when I was like younger than you. When it first came out, I was like, oh really? It's like, yeah, I mean, I didn't get very far. It's like, how far did you get? And I'm like, the part where you found out Nami wasn't always with the Straw Hat Pirates, and she was like with the rival gang, and they were shark people. That's when I stopped. He was like, "What, dude? They're up to 1,008 episodes. That's like episode 25. What the fuck have you been doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, not watching One Piece."
Yeah, it's a commitment. I actually started before the pandemic, so I can't even use that as an excuse. But I wasn't super into it. I had just gotten back into anime. I was just like looking for shit. Like I was watching like My Hero and AOT and things like that. And then I was like, okay, I'll throw this on. I had just gotten a Switch and I was playing like Pokemon on it, so I was like, I'll play it in the background. And then I ended up just watching that a lot of the time and not even playing fucking Pokemon. The Switch Pokemons are trash, but uh, and yeah, it snowballed from there. Now I think we talk a lot of fantasy books and stuff. Overall, it's one of my favorite stories ever told in fantasy form. It's so goddamn good. Well, this is not a One Piece podcast. I don't know if you want to keep talking about this. I'll
You know
talk
what?
over.
Okay, I'll have you back on. I know there's One Piece fighting games. We'll do
Yes,
a One
there
Piece
are.
fighting game, and then we can just talk One Piece the whole episode.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Burning Blood's actually pretty fun. Is it Burning Blood? There's a One Piece fighting game that's pretty good. I have it. I bought it for like $5. So by the time I got to all these games, they were very cheap. Like I could play them spoiler free. They were all very cheap. So.
I think I only know the one that was out for the GameCube, whichever one that was.
I don't remember. There's one for PS4 that we could probably play online. I think
Okay.
definitely had online. It was like $5. But yeah, in terms of what I'm playing now, I just got the Steam Deck. I was telling you, so I'm playing old PS2 RPGs because that's the main reason I got it. And I'm playing a Shinigami Tensei, the Digital Devil Saga, which is fucking awesome.
Nice.
So good. It's actually like I played it as a kid. I don't think I really appreciated it. It's a really good RPG. Like it's just the turn based is they've made it addicting to just grind in that game. It's fucking awesome.
Cool. I know nothing about SMT. I just know that it's related to Persona somehow.
Do you play JRPGs?
Not really.
Okay, so then you wouldn't appreciate any of this. These games
No.
these games are a lot of work.
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, this game's like 600 hours. It got a great story. You kill God at the end. It's like, it's too long. It's too boring. I'm good.
Yeah, Persona is usually like more like it's slice of life plus like dungeon crawling JRPG, whereas the Shinigami Tensei stuff is like, yeah, you're killing gods and you're like you're killing like Buddhas and fucking all gods from every culture. It's just like mixed and you're just fighting them all.
Now, you set me up beautifully for this because one of the stages in this game is called the Fetus of God, and you just fight in this ethereal stage with the fucking baby deity behind you. So please, MackEast, let the people know, what game are we talking about today?
Well, I don't know the exact title. It's Darkstalkers.
There we go.
I know it was the third one, but I know they all have like these weird fucking names like Vampire Hunter, Vampire Lord, or all this shit.
I think it goes Lord of Vampires, Vampire Hunter, Vampire Savior, Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior 2, but somehow that correlates to games 1, 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5.
Yeah, Capcom's always keeping things simple. At the same time, it's basically the same fucking game, like over and over again. So I don't know what's the difference between Vampire Hunter and Vampire Savior when the game is basically very similar. I mean, it's I don't even see much of a difference in the characters you can select and things like that.
2 characters. I kid you not. I'm pretty. It's either 2 or 4 characters. So when they designed it for the arcade, they were like, okay, we want to do all of these characters, but the arcade board couldn't handle that much, so they cut 4 out. And they go, okay, we're going to make an updated version, we're going to patch it, and we're going to add those 4 characters that we're missing. Oh, the arcade still can't fit everything. I guess we have to remove 4 characters now. So it's kind of like it's kind of like whatever one you would rather, like whatever characters you like more is like the biggest difference. I hear like the 2 later revisions have like some wonky meter shit in it, but I don't know. That didn't bother me.
Yeah, I was kind of Specials are really weird in this game.
Yeah,
And I for the first time I played it because I played these like I don't know if you want to get into that or you want to save
let's
that
do it.
for okay. I've always wanted to play Darkstalkers because
Hmm.
obviously there are a bunch of characters in Marvel's Capcom 2.
Yeah,
They're all pretty cool. Like they're fine. The Mummy Dude's actually become like one of my mains in Marvel's Capcom 2 since I've been replaying it.
that's what's up.
But so I always wanted to play it, but I never really like. I had a video game store right across the street from my house
Hmm.
when I was growing up, and I never found any like Darkstalker games or anything like that for some reason. I never really owned any, but I remember the movie theater by me. You might know it, Cross Bay One.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It had Darkstalkers for a bit, so I
Ooh.
played it. I actually played the arcade version of Darkstalkers like a couple times. But other than that, I never played it, so I don't know much about it. I always wanted to play, so I bought this collection that we were talking about it, and it's cool. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a little. I don't know. There's something about it that just like it's good, but there's something keeping it from being like really good. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you get that same vibe. Like it doesn't flow well a lot of the time or something. I don't
So
know.
I think that's part. Like I like you know a lot of these characters from Marvel vs. Capcom, and this is like the first time I'm like getting into the game, and I'm having so much fun with this. And I think it's because not so much things not flowing. I think all of the characters are very wacky and wonky. It almost feels like they're not from the same game, and I can
Yeah,
see why that's feels like it's incohesive. But I just love how weird all of the characters are.
they are cool. Like I most of my playthroughs I've been sticking to the Mummy. For some reason I'm blanking on his name, but
Anarakis.
yeah. But I did mess around with like the punk dude and the
Hmm.
werewolf. The werewolf's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
At some point, the samurai dude fucked me up bad. Like I could not beat him, so I started playing as him, and I couldn't really make that one work. But
Yeah.
you're right; they do have like really interesting powers. Like the mummy, his torso can come off, and his legs move independently. And there's like this attack he does where his
Hmm.
legs walk around and kick while you're punching, and it's just like it's an interesting attack.
Yeah,
Um,
they're so weird and they're all so different. Like like the mummy, he can't jump up straight up. He has to
yeah,
go diagonally, but then he can hover and then he has a
yeah,
double and a triple jump after that. And he's the only one that has that. He's kind of just like floating around and shooting arms out from the ground. You're like, "What the
yeah.
fuck is happening?"
I think that's why I like him because
Mhm.
he's just so interesting. Like in everything he does, even in Marvel's Capcom 2.
Mhm.
Like I never liked him growing up because I always like I didn't necessarily need fast characters, but he just felt so awkward and slow in that game because everything's just moving so fast.
Yeah.
Now that I got the hang of him in the game, he's really good. Like he's great defensively, and like you can just that grab, the long distance grab
Mhm.
is amazing. Like I love that move.
But would you believe me if I told you he was bottom 2 on the tier list?
Really?
Yeah.
I would because I think the speed is just there. It's not
Mhm.
there at all, and it is very awkward. Like the move I was talking about where arms and legs move apart. It's
Yeah.
impossible to control that. Like it's cool, but it's like impossible to control.
Yeah, I don't know. He's at the bottom. I don't have the tier list in front of me. I know Victor, the Frankenstein type monster, isn't traditionally very good. And then I think the punk rock zombie that you were talking about, I think he's number 1 on the tier list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I like again. We were talking about trying to play online before, and it's impossible. So
Yeah.
I haven't actually played any humans in this, but
Yeah.
the punk rock dude's not that hard. Like when I play him in the game, I don't really have a lot of troubles with his like. I don't know if it's just a low defense on him or
Hmm.
he's definitely like one of those fasts.
Yeah. And I think also when I look at tier lists like this, there's a tier list for the people who are really fucking good at the game, and then there's the
Yeah.
list of people like me where like, cool, this one character can do like this hyper technical move and it takes away 2.5 life bars. I can't pull that off. That means nothing to me. He's not. I'm not good with him. You know.
You're right. That's the thing. Yeah, like a character on a tier list might be ranked high because you can pull off like a fucking 50 hit combo, but who's doing that? You know what I mean?
Not
Like
me.
that doesn't help me in any way. Honestly like those tier lists and stuff really suck the fun out of the games for me a lot of the time. Like I'd rather just like feel the vibes of the game. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm old, so that there was none of this shit. There was no internet when I was started playing fighting games. It was just fucking. You just got in there and you picked who looked cool or something, and then whoever beat your ass when you were playing the computer. You know.
That's still how I picked. I like two characters for this game. I like the punk rock zombie, and I like the werewolf. And I picked the punk rock zombie before I knew he was number one on the tier list, just because I liked the punk rock aesthetic. I was like, that's cool. Yeah. And did you know? I know we talked how we didn't know a lot of the story. He's got like the Union Jack. He's got like the British flags like sewn into his pants. He's not even British.
Come on.
The dude's Australian.
Oh my god. Japan.
I watched a lore video, and it's something like he was like trading the souls of people at his concert to get better, and then he traded too many, like the whole venue collapsed and like all of the souls died, and then he went to hell, and hell's like, you know what? I like your music. You're pretty cool. You want to be a zombie? He's like, yeah, sure, mate. And then he's a zombie. I think that's his story.
So yeah, that's what I want. Speaking of stories, this is something that drives me nuts because like I'll hear fuckers like Jay does this with fucking Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, yeah.
He'll just be like, "This is the story, and this is what's happening," and I'm like, "I beat the game with Ryu. This motherfucker just walks off into the distance. Like, what story? Where are you getting this fucking story from? Like, it drives me nuts. Like, the endings of Street Fighter games are terrible. And then, so Darkstalkers is the same. Like, where are people getting these stories from? Like,
I have no idea. I just went through like whatever the default mode on the Capcom Fighting collection is, and there wasn't a lot of like story there. You got like the occasional, like when the punk rock zombie wins his catchphrase, it's like, "You gotta rock harder next time." I'm like, that's not really helping me like story wise.
Yeah. But when they like lose in a fight or win in a fight, they don't say anything interesting. Like nothing.
I think. I don't know if they still are. I think Dimitri was the bad guy in the first one, and he was after Morrigan.
He's got that Bison vibe for sure.
Yeah, but now I think Jeddah is the bad guy in this one. He's like the real, like, ruler of I don't know. There's no story. And if I was a better podcast host, I would have looked up, like, the story mode of the game. But, like, I don't think...
Listen, man, we're engaging with the material as it is. Like, you don't need all this extra shit to play fighting games. Like, I think all that stuff is cool, but it like I said, it drives me nuts because it's not there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when people read Lord of the Rings and they're gonna be like, I'm like, this story is lacking like a lot of shit, and they're like, nah, this is this and this. Let me explain it to you, and it's like because they read the fucking Silmarillion, and it's like that's not in the fucking books. Like, you're giving me shit that's not in the source material that I'm reading. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just drives me nuts. Like, it should speak for itself. And these games do, man. Fighting games are fun. Like, you know what I mean?
Jay West is furiously tweeting at us right now. It's like, you fucking morons. You don't appreciate that Sasquatch is one of the rare Canadian fighting game characters.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't even watch YouTube. He can watch all the YouTube videos about the story of fucking Ken and Ryu and Akuma all he wants. I'm not doing that shit. I'm just going to play the game and enjoy it.
Now, not so much the story within the game, but do you know the story or stories of how Darkstalkers got pitched?
I don't, actually.
So there's two conflicting stories on how they came up with the idea for Darkstalkers. One of them, which I think is most likely, they were supposedly working with Universal on doing like a Universal Monsters fighting game. With Frankenstein awesome. And the Wolfman and like Dracula and shit, and it fell apart like negotiations. But they already worked on the game, so they kind of tweaked it and made them like non-copyright infringing characters. And the other one,
who fucked up there is Universal, because they still made that game. They just slightly changed them. I mean, it would have been awesome if they were like actually like the guys, but they are the guys enough.
Yeah, I think they're the guys enough, and it's fun, because I'm sure if it was like Universal canon, Victor, the Frankenstein character, he has this one move where his ass cheeks spread out, he picks you up, and then he electrocutes you with his butt. That wouldn't be in the game.
Probably not. Yeah, it would have took some of the creativity away. I think the Wolfman's like a martial artist, dude. That wouldn't have
Yeah.
happened.
He's
Yeah.
just straight up Bruce Lee. He's got nunchucks. He
Yeah.
shoots like dragon beams at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then supposedly the other story was the other creative director, and he goes like, "Yeah, no, it's my idea. I came up with it." Those are the two stories.
See, I'm baffled by like how fighting games come together because outside of like balancing, what is there really to do? You know what I mean? Like you got some guy drawing characters, I guess. That's like the bulk of it. Because other than that, they're just fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what I came up with it. You came up with what? Like let's make monster type characters fight each other. I mean,
I was talking about this in, I think it was the Tales from the Backlog Discord about how Smash Bros. When they designed that, his intention behind designing it was he like Molly, like the guy who made it, Sakurai, mollywopped some dude in King of Fighters in the arcade in front of this guy's girlfriend and like really embarrassed him.
nice.
And he goes, "That's not fun. I want to make an easygoing game that everybody can play." So that's why, like, that's where the mechanics came from. And then you get Guilty Gear, and his entire mentality is, get good, motherfucker. I'm going to make it as difficult as possible, weird combos, a bunch of technical buttons, and if you can't do it, you're not good enough to play my game. And I like those two different design philosophies.
Yeah, I see. I'm definitely more of a casual when it comes to fighting games. It's not that I didn't like, especially now I don't have time, especially to keep up with like how motherfuckers are playing games now. Like I saw, I don't know if you've ever played Fighter Z, which if you haven't, you'd enjoy it. It's good. But there are now ways in the game to you can do a combo that can literally kill somebody in one shot. Like if you keep the combo going with any character, you can it's not one hit, but once you catch them in this combo, it's over. Their whole
the
life,
touch of death, yeah.
It's ridiculous. And every character has, and it's just like, who wants to play that? Like, that sucks. Like, you can't even, like, get out of it. Like, once you're in that combo, you're fucked. And obviously, this combo is hard to do, you know what I mean? But, so, like, there's a skill level there, but that's not fun. So I totally understand where the Smash Bros. Guys. Bros, even if you suck, you could win, you know what I mean? A bomb could just take somebody out or something. Like, it's just, there's fun in that chaos. I don't know. And I grew up, like, playing Marvel's Capcom 2 and like putting in mad work in like not in like any way that these people do now. Like it wasn't like that. Like there was no real internet or anything like when I was playing it. So it was like, you know, I was just playing my friends and we're all just playing. I'm just like, you know, you just try to fix your team up a little bit, pick, you know, tweak who you know, balance it out. Things like that. Like that's fun. Like putting some work into it is cool, but I can't see putting in as much work as these motherfuckers put in. It ruins online gaming for me in terms of fighting games.
Yeah, I think that's why, like, despite, like, casual mode being easier, I like doing ranked mode in fighting games because hopefully I get, like, matched up with someone close to my skill level, and I'm not out here randomly getting matched up with, like, fucking Tokido, who's gonna, like, do those touch of deaths and, like, one-hit kill me or whatever.
Yeah. Obviously they tried it. This is something they think about and try to balance out, but I don't know. I just think I forget how we got to this tangent, but fighting games just need to be fun, man. Just because you were talking about the two different, like, fuck Guilty Gear, man. Fuck that game. Like, those characters look cool, but fuck that game.
Oh, man, you set off all the Guilty Gear nerds. I bet they're tweeting at me right now.
Good. Come at me, MackEast on Twitter.
There's going to be a chance to... You can go ahead and plug your Twitter at the end of the episode. We're going to keep the advertising to a minimum.
I'm just trying to take the bullets for you, man. Fuck those Guilty Gear nerds.
I'm looking at my notes, and a lot of what I want to talk here is about how like individual characters play and like the weird meters and shit that they have going on. And I figured we would do that when we came back after we actually like fight each other. Is there anything you want to talk about before we go to break?
So do you want to like keep stage design and stuff for that, or you want?
We can talk about that now.
I think the stage design is really fun. There was like a stage I was playing yesterday. I fought the BB Hood, and there was like a subway behind us, and it was like a creepy subway. Like it was
Yeah.
like a entrance to a subway, and it was cool, man. It was like New York City, but like
Yeah.
creepy New York City. And I was like, all right, I fuck with it. The only thing I don't like about it is when like in Street Fighter or something like that, you know what stage you're going to. Like it kind of in this game, you don't really get that. You just kind of are in this place. You're not even really sure why. I don't know why the fuck BB Hood was in.
Yeah, New York City. I got no idea.
she's Little Red Riding Hood. Like I don't know what's going on there. It doesn't feel like these characters have like a place in this world. But the backgrounds are all really cool.
Yeah,
really, I like a lot of like you were talking about the fucking what is it the
fetus of God.
Yeah, I played that level, but I didn't realize what was happening behind there. I thought it was aliens or something. So you told me the name of it, and I was like, "Oh, that's like awesome!" Like I had no idea what was supposed to be happening back there.
Yeah, when you go through like the arcade mode, when it pairs you up with like the computer you're fighting on like that screen where it goes like you're fighting the Wolfman. Yeah. Like underneath it, it has the name of the stage, and I saw that I'm like, what the fuck is Fetus of God? That's not who I'm fighting. Jeddah. That's not who it is. And I get there's just a fucking floating baby with an umbilical cord in like the universal ether. I was like, oh, okay, I see you.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I think the vibe of this game's great. I just think I don't know. I guess it's not that popular, right? Like, am I wrong in saying that?
I mean, they haven't had a game since 1997. I think most people know Morrigan from like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah. Plus, she's got big old boobies. It's hard to miss.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not that bad of a podcast host. I was like looking into like some videos on YouTube about like lore and mechanics and the way things work, and almost every video I watched had the same joke of, there's 2 reasons people really like Morrigan, and then just like, okay, we get it. It's big boobs.
She's cool. She's got like some Sailor Moon type transformation shit going on and stuff, which I kind of dig. I like the idea of that mixed with like a vampire or whatever the fuck she's got going on. Like, it's kind of cool. I think the vibe of this game is great. I feel like it could work if they like made a new one. I don't think it would work like Street Fighter 6. I think it could work in like almost like a Fighter Z or something, like a kind of like a 2D 3D fighter. No,
I was gonna say,
have to have like $30 or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Guilty Gear was like popular for a bit, but like only within like the fighting game like community, and then Fighters came out and everybody liked Arc Systems, and then when Strive came out, that shit like broke records, and like casuals are grabbing that game now. Right? I feel like you could like work up to Darkstalkers. Like there's a casual appeal there. Like these characters are like cool, and even if you don't like fighting games, you just might be into spooky shit. You're like, oh yeah, I'll play as Sasquatch.
Yeah, I hate that guy, but but yeah. Wait, what's Stride?
Oh, Guilty Gear Strive. It's the newest Guilty Gear game. It's I think it's the first game that they did post Fighter Z. They might have done a Blaze Blue, but yeah, it's like the newest Guilty Gear game, and that shit like broke records for like their company as a whole.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of those games. I feel like there's no good ad campaigns here. I have no idea what's going on. Like I see these games in the store, and I'm like, when did this come out? Like.
And okay, so that one, we were talking about how fighting games don't have lore. That one has an entire like cinematic that instead of playing through arcade mode, you sit down and you watch a fucking 2-hour movie, the story mode of what's happening. God, I have tried so many times watching Guilty Gear lore videos, and I have no fucking clue what's happening.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the writing's terrible, and that's okay. But like, again, let's stick to the fighting. Like that's the good stuff. Like maybe it's not in that game. I don't know. You say it's supposed to be hard on purpose. I don't know. I've never played one. I always wanted to because the main character dude looks pretty cool. But
Soul Bad Guy.
What?
The main character's name is Soul Bad Guy.
Get out of here.
Started at SOL and then Bad Guy, one word as his last name.
Yo, that's a great last name. Oh my god, I'm about to be Mac Bad Guy. That's it. That's awesome. All right,
Mac
I
Bad
might have
Guy.
to play that just for that.
Okay. Well, if you got nothing left, you want to go throw some fists, see who wins?
Yeah. For sure.
All right, cool. Stick around. We'll be right back after this quick ad break.
Sup, scrub? You wanna talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, scrub.
Sup, scrub? You wanna talk shit about me, homie? What game you play?
Hundreds of scrubs is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
You wanna talk some shit? Call these motherfuckers ASAP.
Yeah, I said some shit. What? Man, fuck you and your frame data.
The hardest scrubs is standing by, ready to pick up that phone. Cat scrubs. Anime scrubs. Street Fighter scrubs. Mortal Kombat scrubs.
The hell you mean your game doesn't have a block button? Fuck you.
1929-925-4797.
Just dial, scrub, or I'll fuck you up.
Weird controller scrubs. Tekken scrubs. Random scrubs. Mystery scrubs. Stream monster scrubs.
You got some motherfucking nerve banning me from your chat over some bullshit. You better calm that shit down and come around and show some respect before me and my Stream Monster homies come and beat your ass off top.
Don't be a scrub. Buy a hitbox. Now.
$249.99 per hitbox.
And we are back, everybody. And guess what? Guess what? I finally won a match. First proper time on the podcast. I won the match in the middle of the game.
What? I didn't know that. I would have tried way harder if I knew you had a losing streak going. I got swept by everybody. I got swept bad.
The only game I think I technically won was a Nick All-Stars Brawl that I did with Rick. But more so than me winning, he accidentally ran off the edge like last stock, and like more so than me winning, it felt like he lost. So I don't really count that because I didn't beat him. He accidentally fell off on his own.
Hey, that's a win. We've all played Smash and fell off on accident.
Okay, so then if it makes you feel better, you're win number 2.
It does make me feel better.
Okay, cool. So we're back. The YouTube video for that match is going to be in the link below if you want to go watch that. It was a lot of fun. You can see how wacky the characters are, how weird the stages are. We played on the train stage that we talked about. We played on the Fetus of God stage. What was another stage we fought on?
God damn, I can't remember the other one. It was the Cherry Blossom. Oh, was that? No, it was the Cherry Blossom one.
Yeah, it was the Cherry Blossom. Yeah. Yeah, some really cool looking stages. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we gotta. Yeah, it's like a nice steady. Like it went from like nice, beautiful cherry blossoms to Death Train, and then so you get all the bases are covered on that one. That's cool.
Yeah, but so you started playing off as Arrakis, the mummy character, and I have a couple notes on different characters, but one of the coolest things. Ah, man, fuck! I'm looking at my notes, and his name is Anarakis. And I think I've been calling him Arrakis the whole episode, which is the planet of Dune.
That's why I kind of. It's not that I don't know the name. It's just that I'm not drinking a beer. I kind of
the mummy dude. It works.
Slip out of my mind, so I call him the mummy dude.
And you know what? I bet because I specifically I joined the Darkstalkers Discord. like to talk about them, to get like tier lists, to get a little information for the game. So they know this episode's coming out. I'm going to post it there when it comes out. And I bet up until this point that they're like, we gave him help and he's fucking calling them the wrong name the whole time. That fucking moron. What dumbass podcast is this? I'm sorry, Vampire Savior community. I failed you.
I didn't even know the names of the game, everybody.
So real quick while we're on this, I'm going to jump back to Anorakis in a second, but this brings up a good point. The characters have different names in the English and Japanese versions. Like the werewolf is called John Talbane here, which is a pun on it's Jon as compared to John with an H, which I think is the main character from like the first like the werewolf movie from like Universal Monsters, so it's like again playing into that. But he's called Gallon or Gallon, I don't know, I don't speak Japanese in the Japanese version. So to avoid the confusion, they just call him Wolf.
In this game.
Yeah, so just like if you go to like a tournament and you're talking to people, they call it like Wolf, they call them Fish, they call them Zombie to avoid
So I'm not even off base by calling
Mummy. Just call him Mummy. You're good. Like like they call Felicia Cat. They call because the punk rock zombie dude. I think he's Lord Raptor in English and Zabel in Japanese. So
Basically
people just call him Zombie. Yeah.
Yeah. The names don't stick with you. I don't know why. Like. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been playing a lot of these other fighting games since I was a kid, and this one not really. But I've been playing Marvel's Capcom 2 with the Mummy dude forever, and I still can't remember that motherfucker's name. And I call her BB Hood. Her name's, they actually say her name in this. It's like Bonnie something Hood, which I was surprised about because I had never picked her or fought against her in the game for some reason. Oh, I actually did last night, but yeah, the naming is weird in this game. I don't know. You kind of wish they don't change the names because, like in anime, they stopped doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the names you're saying are not good. They don't like. They like. I don't know. It's just it wouldn't have worked well, I guess.
Yeah. So they all. I guess it depends where you go that they have different names, but. Like apparently, BB Hood has different names, so they call her Bulletta in Japanese because she has the bullets.
Yeah,
that's like
I
a
like
nickname.
That, actually. I like that.
Yeah. So just like it, maybe I'm not too far off calling the Mummy the wrong name. What the Mummy has 4 names to begin with. Who knows?
Yeah, and he failed me big time. I play with him so much. You know what's? This is an experience. This is why I hate fighting games sometimes because I don't play online. This game you can't play online, so I just been playing the computer.
Mm-hmm.
You can play online, but nobody's there. And the distance grabs work so good when I'm playing the computer. And Mikey, he like saw them coming every time. And it's like you don't think about it because you're playing the computer. You just think, oh, this works like this. But when you play people are smarter than the goddamn computer. It might not be better at the game because the computer can just fucking pull off combos and shit that we can't. Like humans can see things, and you just you forget that you've been playing the computer exclusively.
One thing that I don't think you did as Mummy that would have messed me up. So you know how you can like double tap forward to like dash and you can move faster. Yeah. If you're up against the wall. And you double tap. If you dash backwards, you pop out the other side.
You know what? I forgot he can do that because you had me in the corner at one point. I should have fucking done that.
That would have
God,
me up.
He had that, dude. Man.
I would not have been prepared for you to just pop up behind me. I don't know any other fighting game that lets you do fucking Pac-Man walls and come out the other end.
It is really cool. It's so unique that I forgot he had it.
Yeah.
like, cause I do use that, like, but I don't play this game like consistently enough. So like, I completely forgot he had that move. Fuck.
Yeah.
You had me good too.
Yeah. And like a lot of these characters, they have like really weird and unique movement options. Like Zabel, the Mummy, he can dash in the air. So like that's really good for approaching you. That's why I could get you in the corner. I dash in the air and then I come down with an attack and just like I hit you up top, and then I land, I hit you down low, and you're like, oh man, where do I go? And just like I throw you in a corner, or like fucking Morgan. I can't believe I forgot her name. She's the main character. Morgan, when you do the dash, she shoots like a fighter jet at like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, their movements are really hard to read a lot of the time. It doesn't. It almost feels like it's counter to what a lot of other fighting games do naturally, which maybe is why it kind of throws people up. I don't know, but I guess if you played this long enough, it could be really fun, man.
Yeah. It didn't happen when I was playing you. It happened when I was playing against a mummy computer. When I fought you as Frankenstein, you hit me with this thing and I kind of just froze. Frankenstein didn't have a funny animation. If you did that same move where you shot the bats at me and I was playing the werewolf, you transformed me into a wiener dog.
Yeah, so I'm baffled by that move because I don't think any other character has anything like it. He transforms. So when I hit you when you were the Frankenstein, it was actually his special. I don't think I actually hit you with the real one.
Okay.
The real one, it's actually in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 too, but it turns everybody into like the same thing in that. In this, every character turns into something different. It's insane. Like it's just his moves, and it doesn't really like have any bearing on anything. But somehow he spits that thing, and it hits you. Like you can only do it in the air. And I forgot who I was fighting yesterday, and I turned them into something, and I was like laughing so hard at what they turned into. I can't remember what it was though. But it's such an interesting like that they went through all this trouble to create little sprites for that one move, like and what it turns them into.
There's a few moves. I think one where I think Frankenstein like electrocutes them or something, and they all have like a unique animation as well. And I think that just like shows off like how wacky, silly some of these characters are. Like
it's just a nice touch though. Like there's good detail.
Neither of us played as her, but QB, like the hornet creature, she has this one move. She has this one move where like she'll plant an egg on you, sting you, and because she's a bee, she dies because she's without her stinger. Is reborn from the egg she planted on you, and then you play the rest of the game as like the new reborn QB.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What? No way. I gotta try that. That's cool, man.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like if you play enough with these characters, they all have like weird shit that's going on. Like the zombie, in addition to like air dashing, if you crouch, you turn almost into, you start crawling. You turn almost into like a crab, and you just scurry on the ground.
Yeah, that's cool. I need to spend some more time with this game, but I'm blown away by what you just told me about this bee chick. That is fucking cool as hell. You know what else I like about this game? And I notice it all the time, but like I noticed it when we were playing. When you lose the first life bar, it's just it's still on. You know what I mean? Like it just keeps going. It's not like let's reset and everything because it's cool. It feels more like a brawl. You know, like it's not. It's like a second wind comes instead of like let's go back to our corners and.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's like one of the biggest things that sets Darkstalkers aside from other fighting games. So like Street Fighter, if I win the round, we reset, we both get full health, and we go to our separate corners, and it's round 2.
Yeah.
With this one, you don't have rounds. You have 2 health bars. You have like 2 lives. And you just have to get your opponent down to 0 on both of them before they get you down to 0 on both of them. And like, it just makes the game, it feels like it goes that much quicker. I feel like us playing 3 games of this is still quicker than us playing like 3 games of Street Fighter because you have to stop, it reloads, new rounds and everything.
And it has a level of strategy to it too, because not necessarily strategy, but intensity. Because you're like, I gotta get this person, like I beat them the first round. Now I have to get them a little more down before I lose this life bar.
Yeah.
And start thinking like, what's gonna happen by the next life bar? You know what I mean? It adds a little something to the game for sure. I like it. I like it a lot actually. It's actually my favorite feature of this game. Although apparently I have to check out some of these crazy moves. Some of the characters I've not used have.
Did you know about the recoverable health in this game?
No.
you can like
like
regain
it goes
health.
down and then it could come back up.
Yeah, it just like if you go long enough without like getting hit, just like you can like recover some of that. And I think like that maybe makes it last a little bit longer, but I think that also like encourages your opponent to like rush you down even more because so you don't regain that health. So it's just like this is like a very like fast-paced game.
So there are certain I forget. I've played fighting games that implement that for like it might be fighters. I don't know where like you see the life bar go down, but it's like a different color, and until you knock it down further, you know what I mean? Like I've seen that implemented, but so I know I picked it up right away in this game. But I like that too because you're right. Like it kind of makes you play less cautiously because you have to like I don't want them to recover, and it kind of gives the person getting attacked a little more advantage in a way.
Yeah, so they have that, and another thing about this game is the meter system. So in like Street Fighter, you have like a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3 super that you can do depending how much meter you have built up. You can get up to like 14 meters in this game, and all of your meter attacks cost exactly 1 meter. So you can
I didn't
just
know
like
you can get up to 4. How long do these fucking fights go? Like how could that even be?
It's mostly stuff that I've seen in like if you go into like training mode with like Victor, he'll like because training mode lets you practice, it just instantly fills up to like 14. And that's another thing. I think different characters have different like max meter numbers. I think some characters only go to like 8 or 9 meter, and some go up to 14 based on how many meters that they need to do. But it's cool that like you can do supers for meters. You can do, pretty sure there's like when you go into Dark Force. I don't know if you saw me do that a couple times, but I fucked up the background. We went into like Zombie World.
I hate so the Mummy Guys is the one that's where he detaches his legs and his top part. I hate that, so that's why I didn't do it. But I know what you mean. Yeah,
that costs meter, and like again, all of the characters have a unique Dark Force. Like Felicia, when she does it, she summons a tiny little kitten, and she does like double the attacks. And now you got to deal with like 2 of them. You know?
Yeah.
The punk rock zombie, he does it, and like he just starts glowing, and his attacks do a little bit more, and he plays guitar. I don't know.
I noticed the werewolf dude was just like faster too, or whatever. Like it didn't seem like it was anything crazy. Like some of them seem like they do crazy shit, like summoning a second or like detaching their body. But a lot of them seem kind of generic. Like this is the power up, you know. And it's just
but like that's another thing. I forget what. I think Victor's, if you do it, you just like are like shot. You have like electricity the whole time.
Oh,
but when I played that game with you as Victor, one of his cool things is if you like press the punch button, he just punches and comes back. If you hold the press button, he reaches just a little bit further and electrocutes you. So even like his basic like I'm drawing a blank on in Street Fighter what like the low, medium, and high punches are called. But just like depending on like what punch button you press, it does like if you press it or hold it down, it does 2 different things, and you get to shock the person, which just like does a lot more damage.
That's interesting. Yeah, I gotta play with this more and like test out these different things because, like I said, I played it like I got kids now, so it's, it was so hard for me to get through like one story mode or whatever, you know, arcade mode without being interrupted constantly. Like I was putting it on sleep, coming back days later to finish the same goddamn arcade mode. But so I really didn't like dive into it well, but I think I want to like this. It seems like there's a lot more there than I thought. When I first picked it up, I was like, this game kind of sucks. And the more I play it, the more I'm like, there's like cool stuff going on here.
Yeah, because we picked this game because we both got the collection. We wanted to do Darkstalkers. And you text me like, yo, Mikey, this game kind of sucks. I'm not feeling it. I was like, what? And I'm just like, I think it sounds like you went right into the Mummy because you knew him from Marvel. I was trying to figure out who I wanted. So I was like dicking around with a whole bunch of characters. And I saw how weird everybody was. I'm like, this is like silly. I'm enjoying this. And I think this is the first game where, like, after the podcast, I wish I had more than 2 weeks to delve into just because there's so much stuff going on that like between you and me, I did Tekken 3 like 6 months ago. I have not played Tekken 3 since finishing the podcast. I'm not going back to that. I'm probably going to keep playing this week because I feel like I'm not done with it yet.
Yeah, it's mad fun. Which one's Tekken 3?
It's on
Was
the
that
PS1.
PS1?
It's PS1. If you watch the anime, it's what the anime is based on.
Okay, I think the last one I really played was 2. Anyway, I did play 3. Anyway, I definitely want to go back to this too. Yeah, like this is like I get a few minutes. I want to drink a beer, play some fucking fighting game. It's cool. Like yeah, you could just just throw away like a half hour playing this. And turn off your brain and.
Yeah, this totally works because like today I had for everybody at home who doesn't know, I drive a snow cone truck for work, and today I had an appointment.
Wait, you're slinging snow cones?
Yeah, I'm slinging snow cones. I have a. I'll have to post a picture in the group chat, but I have like a silly tie-dye. Oh, I'm in my uniform shirt right now with the sunglasses on, but I had the snow cone truck in my driveway today because I had a job from like 4 to 4:30, and then I had like a 40-minute break, and then a job from 6 to 6:30 tonight. And like I had like maybe 30 minutes in between, and that's not enough for me to get into like I'm in the middle playing Tears of the Kingdom. I need more than 30 minutes to like get into something. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna put Darkstalkers on because I can play that shit for 15 minutes and then bounce. It's like a.
Hold on a minute. This man, he sent me like a very official schedule, and he's slinging snow cones.
Yeah.
Who needs snow cones at a very specific time, Mikey? I'm so confused.
Okay, so today. At 4:00, I went to a senior living center because they booked an appointment, and I gave out 84 snow cones to people living at this like assisted living facility.
I'm not trying to downplay what you're doing. Obviously.
Oh no! Please, no downplay
job.
It is. It is the dumbest job I've ever had.
I'm just so confused by the like very set schedule you have.
Yeah.
Like.
So a lot of times people think it's like the Mr. Softy thing where you just drive around a neighborhood. No, I'd say like 80% of my job is going to like. Okay, so like this past weekend, I worked both Saturday and Sunday at 2 street fairs. We work a lot with like food trucks. We're just like I drive into the street fair like 9. I just fucking dick around for a few hours. Street fair starts at like 12 or 1. And I'm there for 8 hours, and people will do like carnival games and then get like barbecue at the truck across from me and then come to me for dessert type of deal.
Come to the Fresh Meadow one?
No, there's
Fresh Pond, I should say.
Oh, you want me to come out to...
It was just this weekend. That's why I was there.
What was it? The St. Anthony Festival?
Oh, no, it's the one I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was about to say...
terrible podcast.
The two of us were just... So, like, neither of us knew this until we got into podcasting. But I'd say we grew up maybe, like, 15 minutes away from each other.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So just like, no, it was not the Fresh Pond one. I was at a college in New Jersey, and I was like parked on campus for like 10 hours.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I drive snow cone trucks now. It's not a very important job, but it pays the bills.
Okay. Will it do that in the winter though? That's the question.
Yeah, okay, so but we're now. This is welcome to Mikey's professional podcast. So
I'm sorry, you threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting this.
No, you're good. So I was delivering bread for a bread company. I was going to the supermarkets delivering bread. The owner of that company was like, hey, it's the summer. Snow cones is busier. I need to transfer you. Okay. So I'm doing this for the summer. And then maybe like October, November, he's going to move me back to delivering bread to supermarkets.
All right. I get you.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure you were good for the winter. I didn't want you out on your ass.
Now, I recently found out that there's this thing in New Jersey called seasonal unemployment. So I'll have to look into that because I hate doing bread. So even if it's a slight pay cut, if I can sit at home for 3 months until like fucking because really season. Yeah, for like half a season and then come back so with bread I have to get up for work at 2 a.m. and it's it kills me. I hate getting up at 2 a.m. for work.
Well, we need our bread for breakfast, bro. Come on.
No, the thing is, I gotta deliver all of the bread to the supermarkets before they open because they don't want me delivering bread at the same time customers are there.
Yeah, and it's got to be fresh. So that's okay. This is crazy for the fighting game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not editing any of this out. People from the Vampire Savior community, if you have any truck questions or bread or snow cone questions, in addition to fighting games, please hit me up.
There you go. You get to know your host a little better.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm looking at my notes here, and I got 2 questions left for you. If you were in charge of designing the game, what character or characters would you want to add? It doesn't have to be a specific character. It could be like this type of monster or a type of character that fights like this.
Gotcha. I want Ash from Evil Dead 2.
Okay. Ooh.
I want him swinging
Chainsaw
his
hand,
hand, shooting fucking his boomstick. That would be so great in this game. It would fucking be perfect.
Do you know when Evil Dead 2 came out?
I think it was 80.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah, it could have worked. It could have worked. It was like 89 or 88. I don't know. But it was in the late 80s. But yeah. Ash would be perfect in this game because I want Ash to fight all horror people. So like this would be fun. Like, or they could do knockoff Ash, like Chainsaw Hand guy. But, just have him in there doing his thing. It would be awesome. He'd be like, that was projectiles. We got to get close and just fucking chainsaw people. It'd be awesome.
There were rumors that he was supposed to be in Mortal Kombat 11 as like the last DLC character.
What?
And then there's like some weird copyright dispute. So supposedly they had to drop it at the last minute, but rumors claim that was like the plan from like the start of MK11. Like Ed Boon wanted him as DLC.
It's so frustrating, these goddamn copyright disputes.
Yeah. And then I think that's why we got Rambo instead.
Jason in, right? They didn't get Jason in, right? Because I know he was in like copyright hell for so long. He did get in there.
In either 9 or 10, I think, whichever one. So I think 9 had Freddy Krueger, and then they're like, "Wait, we can do horror characters," and then 10 was just like all horror characters, and I think Jason was
face and yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be cool to like even have like Jason. Like let's bring some cool slasher villains in as well. Yeah. Like I don't think there's any nod to a slasher villain in this because I guess they were doing the Universal thing.
Yeah, they're all like very classic horror monsters. You're right. Yeah. There's no like. I think just like a non-copyright infringing dude in a hockey mask would like fit in.
Exactly. Yeah, just hockey mask. Give him a machete. Maybe make it like a catcher's mask or something.
Yeah, something slightly different.
In Japan. Yeah.
You brought up MVC2 a couple times. So in that game, Marvel has all Marvel characters, but Capcom has 4 original characters for Marvel 2. And supposedly, again, these are rumors yet to be confirmed, they are like concept ideas for Darkstalkers that never got made.
Yeah, I could totally see that. The pirate chick, definitely.
Yeah, Ruby Hart and what's the name of the big cactus dude?
No, I thought he was a Darkstalkers character, and then I just realized he's not in this game. He totally plays like a Darkstalkers character.
Yeah. So the 2 of them were like supposedly scrapped from Darkstalkers and then moved to Marvel because they already had the concept art for it and stuff.
What's interesting is Ruby Hart's like actually like the soul of that game. If you actually like pay attention to the little bit of story there is,
she's like the main character.
Yeah, she sucks, but I tried to make it work. She actually has a move just like the Wolf dude, where you know how he has like he projects himself forward, and then he can do a second one. He has that as well.
Do you know about the game breaking glitch with that move?
No.
So if you're doing that shoot move thing with Ruby Hart, and as you're doing it, you repeatedly wiggle the stick and repeatedly tap the taunt button, it freezes the game, and the only way to like unfreeze it is to unplug the arcade and start it again.
That's ridiculous. Nice.
Yeah, I saw a video today. It was like 10 funny things that happened in like fighting game like moments.
What are the odds that happened like somebody was playing. They must have just been button mashing. Because what are the
Yeah,
odds
exactly.
that actually?
So I think someone did that accidentally, and then like it got online because the clip I saw was the guy trying to do it, and he was like real excited, and he like walked away laughing, and his opponent was super pissed and was just yelling, "Someone needs to ban this man from the arcade. He needs to get banned from the arcade."
Yeah, she's a cool character, but the cactus dude sucks. But yeah, they totally have Darkstalkers written all over them.
Yeah, so if I was in charge, I would just add all of the characters that already exist to the game. The same way we said earlier, they had to kick out 4 characters to put in 4 new characters. Bring those motherfuckers back. Throw in Ruby Hard. Throw in Samba de Amigo, whatever the cactus dude is.
Yeah, he really would fit perfectly in this game. I don't know what fucking monster they were playing on when they made that.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what horror movie is that from?
Racism. The racism horror movie. But no, he's. I don't know anybody who ever used him like as a regular character in that game. I don't even know. I think they were just trying to get like a high character count or something. Because why put him in?
Now, so we're talking about the cactus, and that reminds me one thing that happened during the game that we didn't get to bring up here that I want to just because it's funny as shit. The punk rock Australian zombie, one of his like specials, one of his super moves, he summons the Little Shop of Horrors, turns you into a basketball, and then dunks you. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, you did that to me, and I am baffled. Like, what does a punk rocker know about dunking basketballs? And yeah, why is there a plant involved in this at all? Like, what does any of that have to do with the zombies? Like, it's so bizarre. Like,
I got no idea, but I'm about it. I love that.
I think basketball got big when Capcom was made, because even in like Street Fighter 3, they added a character that plays basketball.
This was right around the Jordan era. This was like when he was winning the rings. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were like, we need to get basketball in all this shit. Like, it doesn't matter that he, like an Australian zombie, would never play basketball, but yeah, let's do it.
So you're right. Now that you say that, Third Strike, they have an entire training mode where you just have to parry basketball.
Yeah, Capcom was feeling basketball at the time for sure.
Okay, very cool, very cool. And the last thing I have to ask you, you're getting together with Red Fox, you're getting together with Jay West, you're going to play some fighting games, and you can only bring one. Are you bringing Darkstalkers for the wackiness, or are you bringing Smash Bros?
Okay, who is that? Is both of them there or one of them?
Both of them.
Okay. Damn, that's still only 2. So Smash is such a good party game.
Yeah.
I have had 8 people over and just like had a great time with fucking Smash. But I think I'd go Darkstalkers, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, especially right now, the time in my life where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm really enjoying these like 2D fighting games, and I've always loved them, but I'm sort of rediscovering them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just like rediscovering is the wrong word, but I just, because I've always liked them, but I think they're more accessible now because we have these collections. Capcom's putting out Street Fighter fucking 2 forever, but it's nice to get these kind of games, and I would love to play these games with, I was just talking about starting a lobby for this shit right after we finished. I was like, we should get a lobby going. This game's fun, man.
I always ask this question because at the start of the podcast, I would play the game for like 20 minutes and get bored and want to go play Smash instead. And then I asked my opponent, did you do the same thing? And they're like, no. And then it happened again with the next one. So it's like just force of habit that I ask at this point. But with like the last few games, I've been really like into them and like not wanting to go play Smash instead. I'm like, cool, I'm going to fucking dedicate this time to Darkstalkers. I'm going to get good with my fucking zombie boy.
Well, so here's the thing about Smash for me. I love Smash Brothers. I've played everyone from the beginning, when they came out. I'm that old. But I remember the goddamn commercial for the first Smash, and I was fucking sold. But so, growing up, I always had like a lot of people at my house.
Mm-hmm.
So all my friends would come, we'd play games. I'd have like a lot of friends around. But now that I'm getting older, it's hard to kind of link up all the time like that. So and I don't really like playing online so much. Like it's fine, but Smash it doesn't really hit the same way it used to. Like they've got cooler story modes now, so it's fine. I enjoy that, but when actually the Switch Smash came out, I happened to have like a lot of people over around that time, so I was having a good time with it. But since then, I haven't. So I think these kind of games are much more like. Even if you go got next, so not everybody can play it once. You go got next, it's still great. Like it's still a lot of fun. So I think the party game element is dying for me, and I'm definitely getting back more into this.
Yeah, it makes sense. So that's everything I got in my notes. Unless there's anything you want to bring up, anything about the game you want to talk about, you can either bring it up or go right into plugs. Tell me about your podcast. Entirely your call.
So I don't really have much more to say about the game. I think if you haven't played it, I would give it a shot. This collection is actually a little pricey. It was more expensive than the other one, even on sale. But I think it's worth a shot. Like I haven't played any other games besides the Darkstalker games, but I will eventually get into it. But yeah, I think it's worth a shot. So definitely, if you're into 2D fighters, give it a shot. And as far as plugs, you know what my podcast is about. I already sold the shit out of it. I'm very good at that. And check us out at We Get Dubbed on Twitter and Instagram. We barely post there anymore because Twitter is dead. But we also have a Blue Sky. I just made one of those. I don't know how to plug that. I only did it to claim the name on Blue Sky.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I actually got the idea from you.
I have one post on Blue Sky, and it's advertising for the last episode of this show, and then I've just never opened it since.
Yeah, so I will advertise our episodes there if I even get around to doing it on Twitter, because honestly, I'm not seeing a lot of engagement through Twitter. But hey, you know what? You're like, fuck you, Darkstalk. What was I shit talking? Guilty Gear.
Yeah,
wanna come talk shit. You know, I'll always engage. You want to talk One Piece? Don't spoil shit, but you can come through. I'm pretty far, but Jay's not.
I was going to say, are you not caught up on One Piece?
I'm reading the manga. I'm up to date completely, but Jay is not. So don't be spoiling shit on Twitter. But you can come through. You want to talk some? Honestly, I've had people hit us up, be like, "Yo, can you do?" Because one of the things we do for One Piece, for Piece by Piece, and We Get Dubbed, is sub versus dubs. Mm-hmm. I've had people hit us up and be like, "Yo, can you do a sub versus dub for this scene?" And we've done it. Like people have asked us, and we do it. So we love that kind of engagement. So if you have any ideas for that, and what we shout you out for it, of course. So that's me selling myself again. Probably a little too long. I'm sorry, Mikey.
No, not at all. Not at all. We spent a good 20 minutes talking about me selling snow cones. Please tell me about your podcast.
I asked. So that was on me.
Okay, we talked about this off mic, but I'm going to bring it up now so it's in the podcast. Can we do a sub versus dub on the anime versus Saturday morning cartoon versions of the Darkstalkers TV show?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would love to. Yeah. I'm so I mentioned this before, but I'm getting into when we started this podcast, we started it cranky old men trying to fight like young weebs about like how dubs are better than subs or whatever. But the more we did the dubs versus subs, we kind of realized they're both pretty good. But now I'm getting into finding dubs worldwide. Like I'm finding Italian dubs and French dubs, and I'm having a really good time with that shit. So I want to do more of that. So we could do a whole episodes on dub versus sub at this point, and it could be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'll look into the Darkstalker stuff for sure.
I was about to say, I don't know if you can see on my phone, but this is what. No, I'm just gonna text you. It's too blurry on the phone. Yeah, but the American cartoon looks so silly.
I can't believe America decided to do that. Like that game's not that big. I'm so surprised.
No, and it's from 1995. It's based on the first Darkstalkers game, and it ran 13 episodes before getting canceled.
Well, that explains a lot.
That's all I got. So please go follow Matt. Go follow We Get Dubbed. I never really plug myself. If you're listening to this episode, you know where to find me. I don't know what our Twitter is going to be at that time. I'm debating changing the Twitter name because it's still based on the old podcast. I'm trying to schedule like the finale for that old podcast and just change it over to this completely. So I'm not going to plug anything yet.
No BDE no more?
No, maybe we're trying to figure out, like, we all have different schedules. So it's just like we're trying to get together to do like a finale episode, but that hasn't happened yet. But instead, I would like to plug the band HTML, the band. They're the band that does the awesome theme music for this. They're from Queens, where both Mac and I are from. Their Bandcamp is down below. You can find their old, little punkier stuff than that, or you can find like their new like acoustic, not really acoustic. You can find like their new indie shit that they got going on too. They came out with an album or an EP a couple months back. Favorite song off of that is called Nintendo 64. It's really good. Go check it out. Yeah, it's good. I'll send you the link. And if you're ever like need something to do on a Friday night, they play Queens all the time.
I have kids, so
take the babies with you. Just like introduce them to the Queens music scene.
But I will check that out. That sounds cool, man.
There is nothing that bands at bars love more than 2 crying babies.
I gotta tell you, the best part about having kids is having excuses not to do shit. So.
Sorry, I got babies, man. Can't do it.
But yeah, so I will listen to them though. I'll check this link and I will. So you should too, everybody.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for making it this far. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.